Greenwashing is a beast. It's big. It's pervasive. Everybody is on it because you make a lot of money out of saying that, oh, my shoes are made out of grapes. But that's not true at the end. You need to, we people that come from the supply chain, we need to say to everyone what is really true.
Hi everyone, I am Martina, and today with the D Factory we have sustainable talks with NNN, Niccolo Giusti and Niccolo Duranti. After 15 years working in the fashion industry for brands as Tod's, Dolce Gabbana, Calvin Klein, Tommy Hilfiger, Michael Kors, Niccolo Duranti and Niccolo Giusti are doing interview to more sustainable players in fashion industry to spread sustainability awareness. So they created sustainable talks with the NNN to avoid that very good marketing campaigns move to perception of sustainability to something that is not really sustainable. So hi Niccolo Duranti and hi Niccolo Giusti. It's a pleasure to have you here.
Hello. We couldn't make a better introduction, Nico.
No. We need this intro. We need Martina for every our talks because she's very clear.
I will share it with you, but wait a second after the interview, maybe you can share your feedbacks. Where are you right now? In which city?
New York.
And I'm in Amsterdam.
Wow, two amazing cities. I'd like to come visiting you once it will be possible.
Well, you're welcome.
So we have Niccolo Duranti, who's actually the Senior Director of Fabrics and Materials and Accessories at Michael Kors, tell me if I'm right, and Nicolò Giusti, Senior Manager Sourcing and Production from Tommy Hilfiger. So we want today to speak about your story, about sustainable talks, and so let's tell us a little bit why you created Sustainable Talks and its story.
Okay, Nico, maybe I start and then I pass you.
Yeah, for sure. You go.
I don't know the connection of this, but so how everything start about in September, something like September, where I was bored of this COVID situation, and I was like, okay, what should we do? And let's, there's a lot of greenwashing around, people that talk about sustainability, and there's nothing to do with sustainability. And really, it's really shameless for our job that we do our everyday. We try to create awareness. We try to find out what is really sustainable, and then you hear these stories. And then I start to make a video, and then just make, I think in total 3 videos myself talking about. I think leather, not leather, vegan, not vegan. What does mean leather? What does mean vegan in terms of material in fashion? And then Nico, after the 3rd video, what happened?
I reached out to Niccolo. I know Niccolo since a long time. We used to work together back then in Italy when I used to have my own tannery in Santa Croce, my family business, and Niccolo was at Tots. So, our friendship goes back probably 15, 20 years ago. And I told Niccolo, let's start doing something about sustainability. Let's talk to the best people in the market who we think they're doing a good job around sustainability, and let's bring them on some of our talks. And everything started like this, like a joke, it was. I was bored to my mind during COVID here in my apartment in New York. In my studio, 26 square meters alone, and it was quite boring. And good thing that we met and we started this activity.
Amazing. And why do you think it is important to raise awareness about sustainability, especially in fashion? And which kind of awareness do you want to bring to your audience?
If I can start, Niccolo. So the bottom line, what we felt, me and Niccolo, that speaking with our design team and speaking with friends, speaking with people that are within the supply chain, there was no connection between reality and what is really sustainability. What does it mean doing sustainability in supply chain? For sure, it's not easy, and our supply chain is a global supply chain, very polluting supply chain. But the way the process, there is many cases and many companies around the world that are top in class in process. So the way you approach sustainability as a company is very important. And the awareness we want to bring was this, to show up to everyone the best case around the world.
Yes, and also, I mean, we started with leather. No, our heritage is leather. We work in tanneries and brands, and we really love leather. I mean, we can hide, but we love leather.
Yeah.
But not only. I mean, we in our job we had to learn how to use other material and start to be passionate also about other material as PU, as they call it, vegan leather, or other synthetic, polyester, nylon, cotton, and so on and so on. And likely to this experience, to the possibility of using these materials, we also realize what is the good and bad of these materials. Yeah, PU, or let's say vegan leather, can be good, but if it's done in a certain way. Can be durable as leather? No, it cannot. But in certain case, could be less impactful than leather. So we want to bring awareness on this part. And actually, our first guest was a PU supplier, was not a leather supplier.
It was not a leather. It was a PU supplier out of Italy. And then also, Martina, we live in a moment in fashion where there is a lot of extremism and integralism. Pro-vegan, pro-leather, pro-fabric, pro-cotton, advocate for this, advocate for that. And there is a lot of people talking about fashion supply chain, and most of them are quote-unquote integralists. We wanted to have a fair panel with fair opportunity for everyone to come up and speak about sustainability with a not an integralist point of view. Let's put it like that, right?
So you want to show all the shades of sustainability?
Yeah,
all kind of materials,
like the 50 Shades of Grey. Yes, that's what we want to do.
Of sustainability in materials, supply chains. And go, Nicolò, sorry.
If I can add, and also a lot of people is asking us, Martina, what is your business model? And we are like, we don't have a model. They're like, come on, tell us what's your business model. We're like, really? I mean, our goal is, of course, to create awareness, but also our beauty and passion is to create a community of people that can interconnect each other and learn the best practices, And we start with leather and textile and PU, and then we get a Gold Association want to talk with us, or other initiative. And we see people in the network that are linking together to learn each other the best practices. And this is the best recognition we can have, is to really to create a community where people sometimes even fight in the chat, but that bring added value on the conversation with the matter of fact, no?
Yeah, totally.
So community, keyword, that's a fundamental aspect to bring about community. And who are you targeting? I mean, potential customers, the housekeeper who's going to buy a t-shirt, or brands and fashion experts?
So if I, Niccolo, correct me if I'm wrong, but our idea at the beginning was to talk to our design team and to people that are next to us in the fashion process, in the creation of something. So this was the first target person.
That's correct. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then with the time, a little bit is expanding, no? More and more people are reaching out, you know?
Yeah, because we went from a pure supply chain to we had interview with NGOs and with professor. For example, the last video we posted, it was pretty successful, I want to say, with Professor Ioannis from London Business School, and talking about greenwashing and sustainability. And he has a big audience. We have a quite big audience right now, and that brought us to another level of conversation and that kind of people like Harvard Business School, London Business School, and Polytechnique from Hong Kong. So more global academics point of view. Because we need to be honest, Martina. There is no one around the world that in academics speak about sustainability and come from footwear and accessories business. It's very, very, very rare. All the schools that are out there are ready-to-wear school. And in the footwear and accessory school in Italy or in Amsterdam or in London, we don't talk about sustainability. It's not so common.
So where do you think sustainability come from, and where is going? What's the direction of sustainability in your opinion?
Nico, so where sustainability is coming from? That's a good question. I mean, we see it's coming from different direction. It's coming also from the awareness of the people in the changing of the world, the change of the weather, the change of the temperature of the earth, and the big changing that we see around. And the people start to question and start to bring a proof that there is really an impact on the environment, and we need to do something before it's too late. I think one is this, but one also other important thing is connected, and maybe I'm not that popular with this, but it's connected to the fact that we went to an extreme consumism of the product. Buy. We buy so much that we don't know anymore what we are buying. So we lose our identity. We need to wait for the next fashion drop to understand what we want to have. And I think there is we are losing our identity. And sustainability for me is also kind of this, is going back to your root, going back on what is your identity, what is yourself, and not be attached to the trend that are becoming too much, and the people are stoned out of all this too many input,
Yes, and from my side, Martina, I want to add that sustainability is also respect. And during our 6 months of life in sustainability talk and speaking with a lot of people, everyone came up. But this is our question. We start all our talks with what is sustainability for you, and sustainability, it's already a dead word because it's very inflationated. Everyone talk about sustainability, but what's the next step? As Niccolo said, is the hyper-consumerism. You can be sustainable as much as you want, but you will have always a big impact on the environment. So how you can be sustainable? You're going to be sustainable when you are respectful for what you have, what do you do, what you buy, and how do you live your life. So just to give you an example, on Friday I had a call with a close friend of mine out of Canada, where she wanted to start a company, and she said, "Oh, but I want vegan leather because leather has a big ethical impact." And my question to her was, "What is in the morning when you wake up, the thing that make you crazy the most?" And she said, "Plastic." So I say, how do you start a vegan brand if you don't like plastic? So, the awareness and the respect are very related examples. So when you say awareness, so means that you know that vegan is plastic. And when you say respect, it's you respect yourself to take a choice. The choice on in the morning to not choose a bottle of water in plastic, but in the same way to choose a material that it's not plastic. So that is respect and sustainability for us.
You added two very important points. Knowledge, I would say, Niccolo Duranti, and also your roots, so your origin, coming back to something that's natural and close to what you are instead of buying without even knowing what you are buying. So I would like to ask you, even because the last video you made was about greenwashing, what do you think greenwashing is and how you can tackle greenwashing in this respect? Which tools can you use?
So greenwashing for me, and I think for sustainable talks, it's a fake news. And as a consumer, you need to be curious. The only way for you to win greenwashing is to go beyond the barrier of the marketing. Marketing is the biggest greenwashing creator in the world. So so going back to, we did an extensive research on how the brand locate themselves within sustainability and what they said about what they make statement about sustainability. Most of them are like 20% recycled by weight in a pair of shoes, or 5% recycled fabrics within decomposition. So it's easy to say that there's a big example right now outside of a big brand that they went from leather to a recycled backing fabric. So the way you consumer fight greenwashing is to be curious, to be smart, to go beyond the barrier of marketing. And us as executive and people that works within the supply chain, we need to be honest with ourselves. And we need to be honest with our design team, with the people that work with us, and the supply chain. Greenwashing is a beast. It's big. It's pervasive. Everybody is on it because you make a lot of money out of saying that, oh, my shoes are made out of grapes. But that's not true at the end. You need to, we people that come from the supply chain, we need to say to everyone what is really true. And true doesn't mean that we know things and people doesn't know. Let's be honest. True means show me the composition of your fabric. Show me the composition of your pair of shoes. Show me where your pair of shoes are made, how they are made, who made them, where it was made. This is how to fight greenwashing, right?
So let's say that consumers don't really have all the necessary data to make the right choice, because as you said, they need to be curious, they need to ask more, they need to ask for more transparency, maybe and more traceability. So what do you think, what's the role of transparency and traceability in your opinion in the fashion and sustainable industry?
Well, to me, transparency and traceability is fundamental. We did several webinar in our several video in our channel, and if you are not transparent, if you cannot trace your material, then what you say just hair. We spoke also about certification that are important, but most of the time certification are certification of a process and not really of the product. So we really need to find a way to certificate and to, as Nico said, to say the fact what is the composition of this material, but also to be able to prove it through traceability and transparency. This is the future, but there is not let's say there is not a clear platform at the moment where you can say, this is it. there is still a lot of movement behind of companies that are starting looking into this, but it's very, 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 very complex topic because there is always something behind. Okay, you trace the factory and then you trace the raw material and then you trace the yarn and then you trace the farm. You know, there is always an additional step. It's super complex.
So if I can add something, Martina, you know, we were witness last week of a very sad news came up in the leather industry. We are from there. I am from there, so I feel touch on my skin. And as we say, you know, we hope that everything will blow out, and there's not gonna be. And it was we hope was only a big mistake, but what happened last week in the leather industry show us one very important piece of the cake of our industry. So how can everyone be transparent, and not only in paper, because paper doesn't mean anything. It's how you are transparent and how do you say to the public that you are transparent. That's is really important. How can for example, the Italian leather business that is the top quality around the world can be transparent and can show to everyone as an industry, not as a single person, single entrepreneur, how can they be transparent? That is the game changing on the industry. As Niccolo said, there's always a next step in transparency. There's always another person that come up in transparency, but it's a journey that the company has to embark on.
Absolutely. And I love the word journey. Journey is a key word because really you can understand all the different shades, because there is the material, there's the people who made the product, the entire process behind it. And then when you come to the customers, there's also other aspects about sustainability. How do you really use this product? Where it ends up? So I want to ask you just to give an idea of what's your biggest success in speaking about sustainability. What do you think you have achieved with your talks? Which was the reaction of your public?
Hey, Nico. At least what we can tell you is that last weekend we were so tired, both of us, Nicola and myself, that we say, oh, we need a technological detox for a weekend. That was the biggest achievement. But if I can say something serious, a little bit more serious, I want to say that we created a small but intense community of very technical people towards fashion material and sustainable topics. So we engage many different kind of people from all around the world, and also we stay together, connected. And I want to be honest, another piece for myself, then I leave the words to Nico. I am grateful for the friendship that I have built with Nico. Through videos, we never met each other because, yes, we met years ago in Amsterdam. But I want to be really honest, what the power of technology and also sustainability has given this to our friendship. It's something that is unique, remarkable. And if this experience of sustainable talks with NNN will end soon or later, I want to say I have a friend around the world. That's the biggest achievement I have done towards sustainability talks, personally.
Thank you, Nico. First of all, no, thank you for these beautiful words. And no, I'm really aligned with you. It's super true. What we build, and we are building this having fun, and I think what we achieve personally is also the learning of a lot of things that we didn't know. we interview people and we talk about topics that we didn't know. We learn how to deal with that situation when we say like, hey, Nico, what are we going to say to these guys? We don't have a clue about this. No?
You're right.
And at the end, we learn a lot. And as Nico said, we never met. When I think about we never met each other, I feel like, holy shit, how is it? How can be 6 months that we are doing this project? We are spreading the word, and also another thing we achieve is that the people basically follow us and ask us and contact us because they want to have a talk with us. So this is really the community that is growing. I think this is really one of the biggest achievement. What we thought, what was the initial thought, what we believe is really materializing, is really something true. Of course, it's not always perfect. We always have to adjust. Sometimes you put a video and 10 people watch it, including your family, and then
because you push your
to
family.
push not to send to everybody, share with everybody, but nobody is watching it. It's like, okay, but we never give up, you know. Sometimes me and sometimes Nico with his very strong, powerful support. I have to say, I will never do this by myself, and I think also that's the power of the team. If I wouldn't have Nico to believe on the project and pushing every day on make it happen, I think this will not be here.
Amazing. I love your energy. And I have a tricky question for you. If the previous ones were not difficult enough, this one is about a magic power. So if you had a magic power, what would you do to make the fashion industry more sustainable?
Wow, this is like $1 million question, maybe more.
You have a few seconds to think about it if you want.
Nico, what do we do?
I'm thinking about Nico. I will clean all the greenwash. I will I will punish every time someone make a marketing campaign that is a bit behind, you know, what is the reality? Tongue. They get something, a slap on the tongue or something like this.
I feel like Don Quixote when he was fighting with the mills. So we work for corporate brand, and thank God we work for corporate brand. But you know, the idea of producing just for the quarter, it's really devastating for certain kind of. What I would like, if I can have the magic moment, what I would like to do is to be respectful, to do something, to produce something because it's needed, not because we need to produce. That's bottom line. You know, the word produce, I don't remember the number, but like over 30 billion pairs of shoes every year, and we are only 7 billion. So where are all these shoes going? So this is something that needs to change.
Really good point. Thank you. Last question and we are done. How did you discover the ID Factory?
I discovered through Nicola.
And I discovered in Premiere Vision.
See, pom quickly. But this is also the collaboration with Massimo and ID Factory, and you know, all the constructive conversation we had is through Sustainable Talks. Thanks to Sustainable Talks, we are here today.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing your experience. It was super interesting and valuable.
Thank you, Martina.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Martina.